A relaxed ass is a happy ass. But if it's a tight and unrelaxed ass, it's an unhappy ass.
Well, I guess you could say, what's the crack? Well, I need to store my toilet rolls, toilet paper, call it what you like. So I thought I'd make myself a posh holder. I don't like the wicker one I've got at home. I'm going to have various sizes made to order on my Facebook page. So if this is something you fancy, hit me up on Facebook and I can make you one to your specifications. Just think of this as a trial run to iron out any problems. Don't worry, the finished product won't have any of these problems, which is just as well because it goes wrong more than once. I'm using oak, but it's got really boring grains, so I need to make this look as interesting as possible somehow. Here in the UK, the winter's here now, so the humidity goes up. We're the opposite to you guys in the States. Our humidity's highest in the winter, like yours is higher in the summer. Which is why I'm only milling these close to final size. So I let them set up overnight, 24 hours to see what they do, which is just as well because I haven't cut any dovetails for ages, and look at the state of that. I haven't ever cut dovetails that bad, not even when I was practicing, trying to learn the damn things. Anyway, so I walked away till the next day and then came back and all good. So 24 hours later, and I see the boards have cuts, so I planed and thicknessed them again. I like to align my stars as best as possible before I get dovetails, that type of thing. When it comes to dovetails, so much can go wrong, but I must confess, I worry less when it comes to softwood dovetails because of the compression works with you. You know, if you can use a pencil line, and because it's so soft, when you push the joints together, it compresses and you get a nice, perfect looking joint. In fact, I'm one of the few that find softwood dovetails much easier than hardwood. You're probably wondering why I'm using dovetails. It's purely for decoration. They look nice, don't they? I also like the end grain of the dovetail contrasting against the long grain. I could have mitered the corners, like a waterfall look, old meets new look. You know what we need here is some toilet music and a splash of Paco Rabanne. Whenever I'm cutting dovetails, I like to save the sawdust. I don't use glue. I don't mix it with glue though. That's a shit idea. It doesn't take finish. It doesn't take stain. I use a gel. But as it goes, I didn't need the gel this time, so it doesn't feature. I've got to say I love this dovetail alignment board. Originally Cat Moses came up with a plywood design, but I gave it wings. I love how small and compact it is. You can see though, I left the planing to the last minute, the boards have cupped. I think the thinner you go, the more evident this will be. So if you went down to 2mm, it'd be like a Pringle. But like I said, that's going to be a big problem with dovetails if you don't get it all lined up. So I sorted that with a ratchet strap, which held everything nice and square, so I could get in there, with both hands and calmly mark out those dovetails. If it wasn't square now, when it comes to fitting it later, it would have been a prick. This way I'll have to force the joint together, but it'll still be a nice fit. Otherwise, I would need that sawdust at the end of it, which actually didn't need them in the end. Came out very 99% perfect, I'd say. And there's your answer why I bought the biggest coping saw that lot make. I can't remember the brand name now, but as you can see, otherwise I need to flip that and you come in saw from the left. Now I'm not too fussy when it comes to the bottom of those pins. I would like a nice perfect clean bottom, but generally speaking it's safer just to undercut them slightly in towards the middle. instead of trying to get them perfectly square. But I do love a clean bottom. Most people find hardwood dovetails easier. I find them more difficult than softwood. Those dark lines, they're just pencil lines. That's pretty good, I think. Do bear in mind I am winging this. I wasn't actually very happy with what I did here in the end. I didn't like it was too rounded over. And then also I thought, no, it's too tall. So I lopped off the bit at the bottom, trying to make sure I cut it in a place where the dovetails just look like a half a pin. I then off camera saw the tops nice and flat again with a jigsaw, but I didn't think to film it. And as you can see, those dovetails come out right, didn't they? And it's not, I think the finish will fill those gaps, what there is of them. Most of it's just the saw going too far down. I'll live with that though. And now for the fun part. I do enjoy sculpting wood. I especially like to try and create more surface area, which I feel this does, but then shows off more grain. I like evolving textures into my work. I'm not a big fan of just square, boring furniture either. But I can tell you what I don't enjoy doing is the sanding. It adds to it all. Originally I was just going to do 3 or 5 holes on the front and 3 or 5 holes either side, either end, so almost like, so they look more like kind of handles, I suppose. But then I just thought, no, let's do the whole thing. And that took the best part of a day to do. The whole time I didn't even give the bottom a moment's thought. As you can see now, I can't run that cutter in there without it divoting in, making it a nightmare. So I thought of this might work, which I'm surprised it didn't. The problem with this is that the router cutter, you're passing your workpiece from right to left, the cutter spinning towards your body. Now invariably that cutter's throwing out that ply, so then the ball bearing catches up and goes into what the missing bits of ply. As you can see for that, well, that's what I think was happening anyway. I couldn't really figure it out, and I'm pretty sure, as you can see where the bits of ply are missing, that's where the router's digged in. So I decided to do it again, but raise the ply up to the same level as the bearing and it not come in contact with the cutter, which worked perfectly, except that. Oh. And you're probably wondering, why am I using ply? Why don't I make a nice solid hardwood base? What's the point? You're not going to see it, and it's going to move as well and possibly force the joints open. Let's get to the bottom of this and see what Mr. T-Roll thinks. If we're marking it out of 5, I'll give it a solid number 2.
How was that?
That was definitely a happy ass.
I'd like to say a big thank you to all my super fans: Joe, Dickie Morris, Justin Walsh, Mark Dana, Kevin O'Connor, Derek Hanson, Jimmy Frick, Gunnison AI, Jorvik Workshop, Peter Davidoff, Scott Broomfield, Paul Hodgson, Paul McGuinness, Andrew Gibbons and Nathan Adams.
Thank you.
So if you like the cut of my jib, please like and subscribe. Share if you're really feeling kinky. And we'll see each other again. Be lucky.